Hey everybody, it is Andrew Lowen with Deliverance here with a little intro to our raid boss video. So for those of you that don't know, over the weekend we went to Strong Tower Con, and among other things what we did was we held a Deliverance raid. 26 players ended up getting together and battling against me, Andreal, the eminent extrovert, and later Andreal from the Fires of Hell. People sit down in groups of 4 at a table. Each player brought their Deliverance game, played what character they wanted, and we had, generally, I guess that would be 7 or 8 tables of Deliverance players. The battlefield was filled with their own individual demons, but then there were raid-wide effects that would happen, events that would happen to all tables, and there was me as a boss that was present on every table. And a lot of people were very concerned that it wouldn't go well. I heard a lot of people were very, afraid that it would be lame or that it just wouldn't work, but they had no idea what was coming. It ended up going super well, and everyone had a great time. In fact, it went so well that I may actually package it into our Deliverance expansion campaigns so that other people can run big raid events on their own. And so, for groups, you can run this with a group of 4 players all the way up to, a group of, just thinking multiples of 3 or 4. We really appreciate you. This is just another example of things that we do for our fans, specifically because we are a fan of the game ourselves, and we know, I love it when companies support their games like this. So in addition to the free scenario pack, which you, by the way, can download the new scenario pack for on Board Game Geek right now. I'll make sure to include links in the show notes below. In addition to that, happening every quarter, we also wanted to do a raid every so often, and maybe we'll be at a convention near you. And so anyway, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the video.
Let's get started.
We're all here to raid.
I have never played a raid
All right, guys, welcome to the first inaugural Deliverance raid. I hope to do this every year. This is something that I've had on my heart for a long time, to actually turn Deliverance into something that is bigger, and this type of thing is what I really love. You're all on my hit list. You have redeemed Fallbrook, so you think. Not if I have anything to say about it. I am Andrea, the eminent extrovert. I've got 20 health per player, and I counted 27.
Oh my goodness!
So I have 540 health. Math is hard. So the way this works is, I am the raid boss that is the red tile in the center of the map. If you can reach that tile with range, if you're on that tile, you can damage me, okay? I need the most experienced Deliverance player in each group is the table leader. Or if you got multiple people, you just choose one table leader. I will be asking you guys for answers. So how much damage do I take, and what's your table do?
0, 1.
Now, this is going to be a game of events. At the beginning of every round, there will be an event that will activate. I will give you, so the floating bottle is something that we're all going to roll for right now, because I go first. So everybody at a table, take 1 set of dice and test.
Everybody.
Because so when I say table, I mean like every group of players. So every Deliverance game is their own table, and so everybody tests. The highest test result. Tell me your numbers. The highest test result. 12. You got 12. Anybody else got 12?
11. 12.
You got 12. You got 12. All right. Everybody stage your angels on the Heavenly Gates tile, and the two groups that got a 12, put an action token in the center space of the furthest tile from your characters.
On this tile.
That is a floating bauble. If a player walks over that, they gain divine aid.
Okay.
And now, I've got friends in low places. Each table must add 1 demon to the battlefield of a type already in play. If a table cannot, each angel at that table is dealt 1 damage instead. You're all dealt 1 damage.
Wow. Awesome. Wow.
That's too bad.
What a jerk.
All right, impress me,
That is your
peasants.
starting health, 13.
A player may share an interesting Lord of the Rings or other awesome fandom fact out loud. If it pleases or surprises Andriel, each angel gains 1 level.
Oh,
Did you know that when
fantastic.
Aragorn broke his foot, the finger toe on the picking the helmet, the bird guy? He got more
That's my favorite. All right, you guys gain a level.
Yeah!
That's what I heard. They fired the other guy.
All right, I have one.
So this is the impressive one. Everybody gains a level. You can choose either 2 heavenly treasures, and so just like normal, you're gonna pick each player at the table is gonna draft 2 heavenly treasures, or your lowest level unrevealed talent, 2 of those, and pick one. So go ahead and level up. Go ahead.
We're all leveling up. All right.
Okay, so now the transition happens. So remember, I was this here. I'll hop over here. Before I was defeated, so I was at like 30 health or so, and everybody knew I was going down this round. What I decided to do was I added a prince card, a prince battle card. I made everyone draw a prince and stage that with their darkness board and everything on the battlefield. And most of the tables did a really good job cleaning up all the demon minions. And so when my character activated, when Andriel activated, this Friends in Low Places triggered and added a second prince to most of the boards, or most of the tables. So they were suddenly fighting 2 princes at the same time, which was really fun. We made the princes worth 4 experience apiece, and the only mercy was that the second prince did not add another darkness deck, that Prince Darkness deck you didn't have to use. The transition happened this round when both princes entered play. There were tables did me a little bit of damage, and we transitioned into Andriel from the Fires of Hell, Phase 2.
0, 1.
Okay, so now we're into Phase 2, and wanted to share with you kind of some of the things that we did that were different from Phase 1. So Phase 1 was all about clumping up. Phase 2 is all about spreading out. So you still had this floating bauble thing happening. Instead of additional minions coming into play, you had additional darkness cards added to the board, and then the rotation changed from, if you impress me, I'll give you a level, to if you fail to impress me, I will strip a level from every character. So they were on their best behavior trying to impress me. And then the Game Over Man, Game Over is a new ability where I consult my hit list. Any angel on that hit list is dealt 8 damage, so no longer 10, it's only 8. But anybody within 5 range explodes also. And so everybody had to spread out really quick, which made the fight really interesting. I also increased the number of angels that I targeted with my Dice of Infinite Doom. I added another dice to that pool, so now, you've got 4 angels typically would be damaged. Sometimes all the angels would suffer damage, and so that was a ton of fun. I was worried at one point. So during the transition, everyone exploded, and they were like half the raid was defeated and whatnot, needing to revive themselves, and everyone else was on the defensive on the back end and all scared. So I thought I was going to have to use good reactions. So I had these good reacts that are kind of like my emergency. I just want to make sure the players have fun. So if all the angels would be defeated, Jesus revives everybody at half HP. I never had to do that. I never even used the heal 12 or deal 12 damage to demons. Actually, I think I did like toward the very end when it got like down to the wire. It was really fun. I did this thing where I allowed angels to upgrade one of their talent cards, which was fun. I gave angels 1 courage, but for the most part, I was in this bad section. So A Quiet Place was really funny, where I forced the table to be silent, and if they made even a sound, then they would take damage, and that was really funny. They take 2 damage total, and they were like, they would be entirely quiet, typing on their phones, and then as soon as I would walk away, they would start to talk to each other, and have one of them would look out and everything. There was one particularly interesting moment, really fun one, where the table that's been the quietest had to utter a battle cry, which was a table of kids like ranging probably between like 12 and 18 years old. And if it was a good enough battle cry, the table leader gains a divine aid card, which if you remember, let me see this. That could be like one of these huge, amazing cards. That is extremely powerful. So that they did a good job with that. They all cheered, and it made the entire room explode in excitement. For the most part, after this, I was very defensive. So I had Thorns, Bulwark, and Cleanse. So anyone that dealt me damage is also dealt 4 damage, and then Bulwark was like right in the middle of the fight, like right toward the end of the fight, right before I was about to be defeated. I used Bulwark to reduce damage dealt to me, and then there was this one point that I cleansed all the status effects. So I allowed as many status effects of a given type to be on me as there were Azraels in the raid. And so there were 4 Azrael players in the raid. So 4 Withers, 4 Cursed, etc., things like that. Then I started to do this bad react where Angel started dealing a lot of damage. And so if anyone would ever deal me 30 damage or more, I would deal that Angel 30 damage also. And the funniest moment probably was when an Ariel and Nezzy player, you have Ariel and Nezzy. Nezzy is like a companion. He's an ally to Ariel. And Ariel dealt me like 39 damage or something with her rapid fire. Very powerful skill. And I dealt 39 damage back, and she had Nezzy run over. Nezzy has an ability that can absorb damage dealt to Ariel. You can deal it to Nezzy instead. So it's like the equivalent of Mario jumping off Yoshi and Yoshi going down like falling off a cliff. So someone was like, dude, you totally Yoshi'd Nezzy. So I thought that was funny. That was phase 2, and it was a blast. We had huge cheers from many events that happened, but the end of the fight was really good, and everybody had fun. 3.5 hours later, they defeated Andriel. So I wanted to add a couple of things to the end of this video. The first thing is that the bosses that you saw are definitely subject to change. They were, they've been tested and everything since the video and the raid encounter, and we're going to be making modifications to the various abilities and other things so that it's challenging but also clear for the controller of the raid boss what options you have. I hope you guys are happy. As long as we knock down that stretch goal, it's going to happen. This will actually be the equivalent of about 4 additional scenarios. The rules, as well as additional pages required for events, and the Angel hit list, which was an audience favorite. Those are going to require additional pages and that kind of thing. So we have equivalent. Well, right now we have 26 scenarios. Once we've unlocked this big 5 scenario thing, we're going to have another 6 to 8 pages required for this raid encounter. And so originally I was planning on 30 scenarios, but if we did 27 with one of them being a big, massive raid, I think that will be very, very exciting for players. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. If you haven't yet backed to Kickstarter, please do that. If the Kickstarter is over and the late pledge is open, you can still support, and really appreciate you guys. You guys are the reason that we're able to do things like this, and I'm very thankful for you. Just supporting and encouraging and believing in what it is that we're doing. So I will catch you all around. Andrew Lowen with Deliverance out.